Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hughes with Story Time with Lamb Chop. Hi, boys and girls. He wants to know if you had a nice weekend. Did you? I did. It's nice to have a break from schoolwork and just stuff, right? It really is nice. I'm going to put Lamb Chop back there. We picked out a fantastic book. You know how I always say that it's our favorite? Lamb Chop. Is this the best? He said it's the best. It's not about lambs, which you know he has a problem with, but I think you're going to like it. So we're going to put him back here on his seat. He's such a good listener. He's folding his legs, if he could, crisscross applesauce for my friends at Lowell Community Charter. All right, the name of the book we chose is Chrysanthemum by Kevin Hinks, right here. Chrysanthemum, what a beautiful flower for a pretty little girl. And it's a cute story. I hope you like it. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said Dad. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Look at this little bitty baby. She is so cute. Aww. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name has to be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. There she is. Now that's a pretty name. It's a pretty name for a flower, too. When she grew up and grew, she was old enough to appreciate that great name. She loved her name. So look at all the pictures here. There she is. She's a baby, getting bigger in the height here. She's growing up right before the mom and dad's eyes. She's a big girl now. Look at this. Wow. Do you like it, Lamb Chop? He's listening, I can tell. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. Chrysanthemum, get up. She loved the way it sounded when Dad told her, come up for dinner, Chrysanthemum. And she loved the way it sounded when she'd look in the mirror and she would look at herself and whisper, Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum. I love my name. What a nice thing to love who you are. I hope you guys love your name and who you are, because that's you. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was her birthday and it was written on her cake. She absolutely loved the way it looked when she took her favorite fat orange crayon and wrote Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum. There's those three pictures, the envelope, the birthday cake, and right here she wrote with her big fat orange crayon. I love orange too because I like pumpkins. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect, and then she started school. Not just any school, Lowell Community Charter, public. The best. On her first day, she wore her sunniest dress, which means bright colors, and her brightest smile, because she was happy she was going to Lowell. And she ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School, LCCPS. Look at this. She's so excited. Look at her beautiful dress she wore. She's happy and wants everyone to know it. She does. But when Mrs. Chud did roll call, everyone giggled when they heard her name. Now, roll call means when the teacher says, Adam, Sam, Michaela, Joseph, Jay, Tiffany, Stephanie, Layla, Jordan, when they went through the roster. Now, Mrs. Chud's calling the kids in class. Dawn, Eve, Lois, raise your hand, Al, Les, Kay, Max, Sue, Bill, Pat, Tom, Sam, Ken, Joe, Rita, Victoria, and Chrysanthemum. These are the kids in her class. And when her name got mentioned from the teacher here, everyone went. And the one thing about people is when somebody starts laughing, it becomes contagious, and then everyone thinks it's funny, except the person you're doing the joke to. It's so long, said Joe. It's scaly. It doesn't even fit on your name tag, said Rita, pointing to it. I'm named after my grandmother, said Vicky. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She didn't think her name was absolutely perfect anymore. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. And all it took is one person to shame her and make her feel less than a person. Well, that wasn't nice. That's why we have to be careful when we say things to people. We could hurt their feelings. The rest of the day wasn't much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Chudd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelt with 13 letters. Thanks for counting. That's exactly half as many letters as the entire alphabet. Thank you for sharing that, Victoria, said Miss Chudd. Now put your head down and go to sleep. There's always somebody like Victoria. She's got to point out everything. You guys know what I'm talking about? If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, said Victoria. As the students lined up to go home, I wished I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. So all the kids are lining up to get into the bus, and now she doesn't feel so good. Her beautiful sunny dispositions disappeared, all because of a few people. See how our words hurt? Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School's no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on the name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Ha ha. Oh, pish, said Mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her dad. It's everything you are. Absolutely perfect. What great parents. They're letting her know that you're perfect just the way you are. Yup, it starts from inside. You don't have to worry what people think. Chrysanthemum felt better after being home with her family. And even after her mother made her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese and ketchup. And an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. They played a game together. What a nice family. We had game night a few weeks ago at school. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. I wished I was Jane. I wished I was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. So no longer was she sad because she imagined that she was Jane. And that's a beautiful name. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt, and she wrote Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum with her feet. How nice is that? I like to do that at the beach. Spell out names. Look at that with her feet. Isn't that a good thing to do? You guys could do it. You could spell your names outside or get some little things together and do it. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita. Let's smell her, said Joe, because she is a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted again. She didn't think her name was absolutely perfect again, and she thought it was dreadful. All it takes, boys and girls, is somebody to make fun of you, and then you don't feel so great. That's not too cool. That's not how we treat people. That's not the right way. You guys know the right way, and Lamb Chop does. The rest of the day wasn't much better. Victoria raised her hand. A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and dirty things. Thanks a lot, Victoria, said Mrs. Chudd. Now put your head down. There's always a Victoria, huh? Somebody's always picking up on faults here. Well, you know what? That's not very nice. I just can't believe your name's Victoria to the other kids lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. One person made all the difference to make her feel sad. That makes me sad. I love her name, and I love your names, yup. Welcome home, said Mom. Welcome home, said Dad. School's no place for me, said Chrysanthemum the second day. They said I even look like a flower now. They pretended to pick me and smell me. Oh, pish. They're just jealous. They're envious and begrudging and disconnected and jaundiced, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. It's absolutely perfect, said her father. So her parents are reminding her that she is perfect just the way she is. But deep down, I don't think she's feeling it anymore. Chrysanthemum, oh, I guess she does feel better because they made another favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting. And another evening with hugs, kisses, and parcheesi. So boys and girls, look at Mom and Dad are making things okay again. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves. It's the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Look at this. She's thinking she really is a flower, and there's Vicky picking on her. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit in 7 pockets the next day. She loaded the pockets with prized possessions and good luck charms. She took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. So she's kind of what we call dawdling. Dawdling means she's taking her time. She's kind of avoiding it. She doesn't want to go there. She doesn't feel welcome. The morning the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like a dream, as was everything else about her. She was just awesome. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was wonderful, and they wanted to make a nice impression. Now, there's Mrs. Twinkle, who sings like Beyonce, and all these kids are listening, and they're like, wow. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. She did roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the Dairy Fairy Queen. Rita was chosen as the Butterfly Princess. Joe was the important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy, another flower. Yep, here she is. Oh boy, Chrysanthemum's a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, na na. Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was funny. Chrysanthemum wilted again. She didn't think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. Again, 3rd time. Remember we talked about the rule of 3 in our stories. What's so humorous, said Mrs. Twinkle. Chrysanthemum. Her name is so long it scarcely fits her name tag. I'm named after my grandmother, said Vicky. She's named after a flower. My name is long, Mrs. Twinkle said. It is, said Joe. My name would scarcely fit in a tag, said Miss Twinkle. It would? I'm named after a flower too, said Miss Twinkle. You are? My name is Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's perfect. I think she's expecting a baby, this teacher. She loves Chrysanthemum's name, and she's letting them know that that might be a pick for a girl's name. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. She felt like herself again, because somebody noticed the good things about her. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. I wish I had your name now. Call me Marigold. I'm Carnation, said Rita. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Vicky. So now they all want to be flowers. First they look at her, and now they want to be like her. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. She felt fantastic. And there's a rainbow here to show how perfect her world is. And that is the end of the story. The end. Chrysanthemum by Kevin Hinks. This is the best book ever because I think sometimes we feel bad when somebody makes fun of us. And it's not too cool to do that to your friends. Boys and girls, I'm going to end right now, but before I end, I want to show you something. Lamb Chop and I, this weekend, we noticed a lot of people were wearing this mask, like this. Let me see if I did it right. It covers your nose and goes up here, just like this. And I don't want you to be scared of it. People are wearing them sometimes outside if they get too close to people. And so when you see people like that, nothing's wrong, but they're making sure they're being careful with their germs, okay? So I don't want you to fret. Well, listen, love you guys. LCCPS kids are the best. Tune in tomorrow. Don't forget to listen to my channel, YouTube. subscribe, and I'll see you guys. Take care. Love you. Bye. And kisses from Lamb Chop always.